There are words that seem simple, but when spoken by someone as emotional as Xiao Zhan, they become a heart-wrenching confession. He is someone I cannot forget. The words slowed down, as if each syllable contained the weight of memories, longing, and feelings that had been buried for a long time. When fans heard this, their thoughts immediately turned to one name that has always been part of Xiao Zhan's life, Wang Yibo. Not because they wanted to steer the narrative, but because the relationship between the two had left too deep an impression to be ignored. Their journey was not an ordinary one. From two people who initially only shared the same workspace, brought together by the fate of a major project, to later realizing that each other's presence had slowly become an important part of their daily lives. They shared laughter, they bore fatigue together, they exchanged glances that silently strengthened each other when the outside world pressed too hard. People may see them as two big stars in the entertainment industry, but behind that light are two people who are learning to understand each other, learning to walk side by side, and perhaps, without realizing it, learning to hold each other in their hearts. Xiao Zhan is not someone who is easily moved by small things, at least not in public. But if one pays attention to the way he speaks when Wang Yibo's name comes up, there is a soft vibration that is difficult to hide. A slightly widened smile, a softened gaze, and a tone of voice that seems to bring back memories of the days when they were in the same place, walking a difficult but meaningful journey. Something had changed, something that showed that Yibo was not just a coworker, but someone who was part of the story of his life. Wang Yibo himself was known as a man of few words. He often appeared cold, distant, and unpredictable. However, for those who really pay attention, his expression around Xiao Zhan is always different. He may not show his emotions with words, but his eyes speak more honestly than his tongue. When they work together, Wang Yibo's gaze toward Xiao Zhan is always full of concentration and understanding, as if he wants to make sure that Xiao Zhan feels safe, supported, and not walking alone. Even when the two of them were joking around, there was a small touch that seemed natural, a closeness that was created not because of the demands of the camera, but because of the comfort that grew between them. When Xiao Zhan said that there was someone he couldn't forget, the sentence felt like a confession that came after he had kept something to himself for so long. Fans who have followed their journey know very well how many memories the two of them have. There were long nights when they practiced until they were exhausted, but still smiled because they had each other. There were small moments backstage when they helped each other fix their costumes, patted each other on the shoulder, or encouraged each other with simple but meaningful words. There were days when the pressure was so great, but each other's presence made the burden feel lighter. Their story was never spoken aloud, but lived quietly in every interaction, every glance, every smile that appeared for no apparent reason. And that is what made their relationship so captivating. No statements were needed, no acknowledgments. Just one sentence from Xiao Zhan, and fans could feel how deep the meaning behind it was. He is someone I cannot forget. A sentence that doesn't force anyone to guess, because the human heart always knows where those feelings are headed. Wang Yibo may never respond in the same way verbally, but sometimes the deepest love or friendship doesn't need to be spoken. He shows that feeling through his actions. The way he keeps his distance, but is never really far away. The way he pays attention without making it obvious. The way he gives Xiao Zhan space to shine, but stays close enough to catch him if he falls. The way he protects him quietly, without asking for praise or recognition. Every memory they create together feels like tiny pieces that come together to form a beautiful mosaic. There is laughter that masks the warmth. There were glances that hid longing. There were light touches that held the courage to keep going. There was silence that was actually full of meaning. All of that came back to life when Xiao Zhan said those words, as if his heart had decided to open the curtain that he had kept tightly closed all this time. For Xiao Zhan, perhaps Wang Yibo was the one who taught him about perseverance, about how to stand firm even when storms hit, about how to be strong without losing gentleness, about how to give without expecting anything in return. And perhaps, among all those things, there was one that was most important: how to feel someone's presence so deeply that they remain even when distance and time separate them. When love, friendship, or whatever name they have grows in silence, then simple words like, "I can't forget," become something very meaningful. Because a person simply cannot forget someone who has truly touched their heart. Someone who was once a home, a place to return to, a place of refuge. Someone who once held their hand, both physically and emotionally, when they needed it most. That sentence feels like an unfinished chapter, a page in Xiao Zhan's book of life that is still open, holding a story that he doesn't want to close. There is hope there is nostalgia, there is a longing that may never be spoken but still lives in every tick of time. It's as if Xiao Zhan is saying that even though his life has changed, even though the world moves quickly, there is one name that remains, one figure who has left a permanent mark on his heart. Then simple words like, "I can't forget," become something very meaningful. Because a person simply cannot forget someone who has truly touched their heart. Someone who was once a home, a place to return to, a place of refuge. Someone who once held their hand, both physically and emotionally, when they needed it most. That sentence feels like an unfinished chapter, a page in Xiao Zhan's book of life that is still open, holding a story that he doesn't want to close. There is hope there is